On everyone, welcome back to the film room here on Two Guys Watching Football, brought to you by Tail of the Tape over at Russell Street Report, sponsored by DNL Tinting. Stay tuned for a commercial at the end of the video. Today we are going to be focusing on a player that has really stepped it up in the last few weeks, and that is rookie 14th overall pick, Kyle Hamilton. I want to take a look at some of his plays from Sunday's game. A lot of talk about him, what his role is, why he's not playing free safety with Geno Stone playing that role. So I really want to focus on what he's being asked to do, and kind of what the importance of that is. And I think the most important thing for context for folks out there is a lot of what he's being asked to do is very similar to what he was asked to do at Notre Dame, and so. That's obviously important because there was this big, I don't want to say confusion, but, well, no, we'll call it a confusion. This big confusion around his role at Notre Dame. A lot of people, obviously, you read his draft profile, it says he's a safety, but he wasn't really used as a traditional safety. He played actually the majority of his snaps in the slot. And you see him on this first play here, and he's lined up in the slot, and that's where he's been playing a lot in the last few weeks. And I mean, he's lined up on tight ends, wide receivers. He's played man, he's played zone. I guess people seem frustrated that he's not playing free safety, and you would have assumed once Marcus Williams went out, Kyle Hamilton just kind of inserts. But what I want people to realize is that he's playing a very specific role in this defense, and it's something that is really paying dividends for the Ravens. So we're going to focus on some of his coverage snaps, but we're going to also start here with what he's doing in run support, or how we've seen his tackling. I tweeted it yesterday. He had 3 missed tackles in the preseason, 1 missed tackle in week 1. So I mean, at the start of the season, it was like, oh god, this 14th overall pick can't tackle. Since then, so week 2 till now, that's 9 games. He has missed 1 tackle. So it is something that I remember doing a film room on it back then. A lot of it looked like confidence and speed. Once he kind of got those things figured out, he was going to take off. So let's get into the film now. I'll run it through, come back, break it down like always. You see him in the slot there. You're going to get a motion from, I believe that's Chenault. And so obviously they're going for the swing pass, trying to set up screens. Really useful concept here against a team playing a lot of zone, because you can see as the motion comes, he doesn't have another DB following him, right? So let's go back to where he was pre-snap. I got that up. Hold on. What's going on here? Okay. So you have the corner lined up here. As soon as he comes in motion, corner stays. They're playing zone coverage. That's what that tells you. So on this side of the field, this is a very good setup for a screen, because you have a block here, and then you should be catching the ball right here, and then you got the DB safety down at the top, or at the about 10-15 yards off the ball. So this should be a money play, but it's completely blown up by Kyle Hamilton. So watch, contact is made at this point. So he's right here. You got about 7 yards of space between the ball carrier. Watch Hamilton. 1, 2, 3, 4. He drives him about 5 steps, and then also forces him outside to where Humphrey is. And so he doesn't, he makes a nice little wrap-up tackle there, and then Humphrey comes in and cleans it up. But the physicality against the blocker here is what really impresses me. And this is Chenault's game, right? He's kind of that yak guy, that guy that could play a little bit of that running back role, get the ball in space, make guys miss. But Hamilton just absolutely runs through DJ Moore, actually, and makes that play. So this is one of these important plays, because if both these blocks are made, you have Chenault one-on-one with a safety, then obviously you have the cavalry here, coming to support. But if he gets out there in space, makes a guy miss, you're looking at a big gain. But Kyle Hamilton completely running through his man, playing physical football, that's what takes care of this play. Moving on to the next one, we see actually something pretty similar. Let's run it through. So you're going to see they're trying to do something a little similar. I believe this is the play he got hurt on, actually. So they're going to run. They got a 3 wide receiver set. Looks like they were playing zone again. They're going to run this quick little out. You see the other 2 wide receivers. Oh, my God. Hitting the wrong button here. These 2 receivers coming out to block. They're running this quick little out. Again, trying to get someone out in space with the ball. It comes. You can already see Hamilton bearing down. He's ready to take on, I believe it's Moore again, and just run through him. And there he's pushing him back a couple yards, and he forces that runner back inside. So he doesn't quite make the tackle on it, but what was important here was the physicality against the blocker and set the tone, right? He can't let him go outside, and so that's where he wants to go. So you can see Moore trying to kind of set that block. See the leverage here. He wants to create a running space. There's no better spot than getting outside of Moore. Then you have this guy angling out the block that way. Again, if he catches that, brings it up, he's one-on-one with a safety. But Hamilton forces him back inside where a cleanup tackle comes from inside. So just really, really nice physical football again. Here's Hamilton on this one. Put it up here. Finally hitting the right button. Let's run it through. And so this is what we're seeing a difference from the preseason. So he's going to drop back in a hook zone here. He's going to carry his DB. Looks like they're playing cover 3 behind it, but he's basically got this island right here. So he's going to pass off his wide receiver, and then he's going to sit. He reads the ball going into the flat there. He's going to step up, and right there, see how he kind of comes in and he sets himself, and then he makes the tackle. And that's what he wasn't doing in the preseason when he missed those 3 tackles. He was trying to sprint. He gives himself about 5 yards to make a play here, and he's able to do that because of his length. He's got all this space, and what he was doing in the preseason was taking an extra step or two, getting to his breakdown here, and by the time he stops and is breaking down at this point, it's creating an easier way for the runner to make a move on him and run through his tackle. So by using his length, you see him reach out there with the form tackle. Just much, much better technique, much, much better anticipation. Hamilton here, you got him up top. Same idea. First of all, solid coverage. He's in more of a off-man alignment here. He's going to step up. See how he read that outside move? Corner comes up, starts to bend it outside. So he's first in pass coverage here, taking that away if that ball comes. He's able to step up. Ball's going to hit the crossing route to 15 here. And then Hamilton gets around his blocker untouched and is able to come up and make that play. But you can even see it here, how he's trying to square up his man. He's a little too high here. And watch this right here. See that side step he takes? Plants his foot right there. Circle it for you. So that, getting up here, planting that foot, he's now square with his guy. If he stays a little too high, say he stops on the yard line, the 30-yard line. Say he stops there and tries to square up. He's got his momentum coming this way. He could be running through an arm tackle, right? But he takes that extra step, squares him, and sticks him. So just, much better technique, getting himself in better positions, taking better angles, all that stuff. I believe we have a couple of his pass coverage snaps here that I really wanted to highlight. See him right there, top of your screen. Look at that anticipation on the breaking route. So you're going to get... see here. I think they're in man. Yeah, I believe this is a man rep. Funny enough, I was told he never plays man. Anyway. You're going to get just an easy out route. He just breaks on it. And you can see his physicality right here. He's already got hands on. That ball comes through. He's able to shoot his hands through the catch point. Say that came through. He's got his hands up, ready to go. But just good anticipation. You can see, once again, he plants this inside foot and starts to break on the route. But you can see the confidence in him. He's not panicking. He's not backpedaling. He's letting the receiver show what his route's going to be, and then he's just breaking on it. So much better stuff than what we've seen. Let's see. Hamilton on this one. You got him at the bottom of your screen. Really like how so you got Hamilton here, you got Humphrey down here, and then you got a stack from Carolina's wide receivers. Just move this toolbar over for you guys. So they're going to try and run. Here, let me run it through, and I'll come back and explain. They're trying to create a little bit of a not quite a pick, similar to a pick, but they basically want to use a clear out route here to mix up the DBs. But what happens here is you're just getting physical football from actually edge JPP. So he's lined up here. He's going to step off and he's going to make contact with the receiver. See him step right there. Moore comes in and he's going to pop him. And you see it knocks Moore off of his route and creates that, he's not able to pick. You also had Marlin at the line playing physical on Moore before he got popped. So he's just taking kind of a beating there. But watch Hamilton. Hamilton's going to see what's happening, and he's going to step outside. So he gets outside of this mess where you have Moore trying to come up and create something here. And then as soon as the wide receiver tries to break, Kyle Hamilton, boom, hands on right there. See him got that both hands on, and then he's just going to follow him to the outside when he breaks. But you can see he does this a ton, and I love it. As soon as he breaks, and it's a breaking route, he gets his arm out. And he does that because if he's losing a step. We know he doesn't have the best long speed, but what he has is incredible length and really good anticipation. So he's able to block. He's got his hand up for the PBU if the ball is thrown that way. Just really good technique. And now we'll kind of kick it over for a word from our sponsors. And of course, a huge thank you to DNL for sponsoring this episode. You can see it there. That's what Kyle Hamilton's doing. Those are some of his highlights. Obviously, we're hoping for good news on his injury. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. What are you thinking of the 14th overall pick? As always, hit that like button. And if you're new here, hit subscribe. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Peace out, everyone.